YouTube. Um, oh boy, this this is getting crazy. It seems like Alabama's losing more and more guys to the transfer portal than I've seen in hell forever. Ever since this portal opened, people just stepping on through it. Caleb Downs, Proctor, um, Isaiah Buns. Now Julian saying the number 3 prospect of the class of last year, he's saying he intends to get into the portal based on the quarterback competition and the fact that one of Washington's previous quarterbacks has transferred to Alabama now. I guess to get a potential shot at starting. But to Julian, the only thing I have to say, man, is you know, hustle and grind, man, and stick it out. Y'all can beat out Milrow. I still think the job can be won by you. I see more promise in you than in any of those quarterbacks. I don't know the rest of them, but you saw what happened. Milrow didn't give us a lot to really cheer about. Yeah, I mean people, wanted to name or crown him as a great quarterback when he really wasn't. He couldn't read defenses. He had terrible pocket presence, and his only golden egg was his athleticism, was his legs. Outside of that, he threw a fairly decent deep ball. But outside of that, if people were not getting wide the hell open, he wasn't throwing it in no covered windows or tight spaces where he got to put the ball at a certain spot to avoid a turnover or possible pass breakup. So it wasn't like he was awing fans and media alike. He really wasn't. It's just his legs and the fact that at the beginning of the season, offensive line played like hot boo boo. But this transfer portal thing, it seems like ever since the boy taking over, it's like they're finding reasons not to leave. It's like they're, I guess, not sold on what Alabama can become. I mean, I get the Nick Saban era is officially over, but he's still there. Just like unofficial um, Alabama unofficial Alabama coach said. Shout out to Goat Doe, by the way. But just like he said, you know, it's not over. This train's still gonna roll, and it's not like all 50-some players jumped in the portal at the same time and left. It's been little sprinkles here and there that that have different mindsets. Now, granted, with Miro, it was rough because we finished season 11-2, but we had a stretch where we were not really dominating at all. We were barely getting by teams, and it shouldn't have been that way had Miro played a lot better. Now down the stretch, he did get better. The Georgia game, I feel like he put it together to a degree, but in the Michigan game, he completely regressed. Because there's no way in the hell we should not have beat Michigan. Michigan was not that much better than us, and it showed on the field because we held them to 13 points. See my little buddy behind me? He's about to go on the bus this morning. But we held Michigan to 13 points. So if you held the potential or the basically the future national champions for this season to 13 points, and they blew out Washington by 23 or by 21. What does that say about what we could have done to Washington? And mind you, now our secondary is not that great. However, when they gel pretty well. Malachi Moore, Caleb Downs, Kool-Aid McKinstry. I can't think of the kid's name right now, but when those guys gel, they gel pretty well. And the defensive front is about as good as you're gonna get for this season. Dallas Turner, Lawson. I forget. Why do I keep forgetting 41's name? They had Campbell as a linebacker. They had the big boys up front, and like I said, if our offense in that game could have put up reasonable numbers, then we would have beat them. But this transfer portal thing is exposing a lot of, I feel, bad intentions from athletes because they feel like if they don't get an opportunity to start the following season, they're going to just jump ship to the next school and immediately be able to play. But that's based on hearsay, because I mean, who's to say you don't get injured? Who's to say the guy in front of you is actually better than you? Who's also to say wherever you go next, if you unless you go to D3 schools where you know you're top of the line, that's the only real chance you got. I mean, if you go to let's just say Julian does go to like Clemson, he'll start. I don't think it's too many. I don't think it's too many guys that's gonna be in front of him in terms of a starting quarterback job. But somewhere like Ohio, no, well he can go to Ohio State as well. I think he'll start there too. But it's not a lot of programs that's gonna just like push their quarterback out the way for an unproven freshman that hasn't taken a snap. That's another thing. You have no leg to stand on if you do leave Alabama, because what have you done? You have no tape outside of high school, which you were phenom in high school, but that does not translate to the college level. And there's no guarantee that you're gonna make a splash. So you have to logically think about it like, okay, well, if I leave, what are my perks? Like nobody's gonna give you an NIL deal right off the rip for potential. They're not gonna pay you for what they hope you can do. They're gonna pay you based on what you've already done. They want a full season of film to show that hey, he put up 4,500 yards, he had 40 touchdowns, he had you know, what, 7 picks. Be right back, guys. I get my son on the bus. Come on, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ours is too. They got so much. Cause you know, I'm being on the fuel out there, so I'm taking my truck. So you'll see me. Okay. Yeah. Y'all gonna be a little creek? Yeah. You'll see me. Okay. Yeah. So I'm there. I'm still debating whether I even want to go to that shit. I got like, no I don't want to go, but I mean, I get to like go to restaurants and shit. So like, I got my truck in. I'm yeah, you'll be able to go get some food. I'm gonna go for a lot of people out there, man. What you need, man? I got you. What you need? All right, boy. Okay, back to what I was saying. So he's unproven, and the most important aspect is being able to show what your value is on the field. And personally, I still think Alabama can get in that top 12 for the college football playoffs, since they now increased it to 12. I think we'll be in there. I don't see this coach making the program take a dip. For me, I'm just confused as to what these players are looking at. What are they being told? Like, is there somebody else in your ear telling you they can give you better, or because now you went from a defensive minded coach who opened up a little bit to offense to a coach who look what he did with Michael Penix, the kid that spent 4 years in Indiana and put up back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons in Washington. Actually put up back-to-back 4,500 yards. That means he spent 6 years in college. Now, I'm not saying that I want our quarterback to be there 6 years ago. That's retarded. But the productivity speaks for itself. What he's able to do with a quarterback speaks for itself. And he had back-to-back 2,000-yard receivers and a potential 1,000-yard backer in each season he was at Washington. Alabama produced 1,000-yard back like it's nothing. So imagine what he can do with his offense once he gets his system implemented, he gets his coaching staff that he wants, and they slowly but surely start to get with the players and, you know, draw up different designs, plays, and stuff like that they want to implement into the new regime in Alabama. I think this coach is gonna make a major splash, but I also want the players to have patience because nothing's gonna happen overnight. It's not like he's gonna be like, "Yeah, let's go." No, but I do believe that we have the players in place to make this thing go. I believe that part. I just hate that the transfer portal is taking away so much. It's taking away small talented players here and there based on whatever they're being told, whatever that is. But they have to understand that it's still, college itself is still like a business, or college football, because they look at the next greatest thing to come out of high school as that face. So if you're not in line with what they want, then sure, you can walk away. They're not gonna bat an eye. If Julian's saying if he intends to transfer, I'm pretty sure that coach is telling him, hey, give us some time. Let's go through A-Day, training, the quote unquote training camp or whatever, and then give it a season. If you feel like because you have an opportunity to win the quarterback job, it's not sold up. Miro doesn't have anything locked up. He just doesn't. He had it with Saban, but with this new guy, no, because Miro doesn't pass the ball. So, and his numbers bear that. His numbers show that he's not willing to throw the ball. So if you're not willing to do that, this new guy, the bowl system, you're not gonna make it. So Miro might end up transferring out of there because he gonna spend a whole season on the bench. He gonna be the biggest cheerleader on the sideline, cheering on whoever's in the game, putting up monster yards, because he's not willing to do that. What he wants to do is run around by time, which there's no time to be bought if the play design will let the person intended to catch the pass get open. And 9 times out of 10, he has guys open. He just refused to throw the ball. So I can understand their frustration. Isaiah Buns, other guys that may want to leave. Ryan Williams, he was a 5-star that I hate to see go, but I could see the frustration. Ryan Williams didn't play for us last year, by the way, but he came in as a prospect, and we did sign him. That he decommitted and left. But I can understand the frustration. If you come to a situation where you know for a fact you could be one of the top receivers in the country, and every time you go out there run a route, you just getting in cardio because the quarterback refused to let go of the ball, how much more are you really going to continue to do? And the coach is telling you now, hey, you're doing a hell of a job. Yeah, I am, but hell, coach, if I don't get the ball, what kind of job am I really doing? What am I really doing? So I'm actually glad that the bowl is bringing some of the guys that he wants, because now it's going to force Miro to expand his game beyond just running around like Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson, because he doesn't have the arm, but the legs, you can see that he has them. Ask Jalen Hurts how that's working out. Because all Jalen Hurts had in college was legs. He couldn't throw the ball. And when he tried to throw the ball, he was either behind the receiver, too far in front of the receiver. I seen the game with Jalen Hurts. I think he overthrew a wide open guy for a touchdown against Mississippi State. And he threw it over the wrong shoulder. So it's like, what does Jalen want to do next? Miro, I'm talking about, not Hurts. But what does he want to do next? Because, if you don't step your game up, and you think that because last season you led us to the CFP, you sadly mistaken, my brother. This job is not locked up for you. You got other guys behind you that are going to prove that they're more efficient, more proficient, and they can run this at a much, much higher level and pace than you can. And if you don't want to step up or exceed what they're doing, you're going to be on the bench, my guy. They're going to be, hey, clipboard and headset. Here you go. Go on call the plays that are being called in your ear to the dude in the field, and let him do him. Because this train going to keep on rolling. I would just like to see some of the guys that I feel like, some of the guys that I think shouldn't transfer, they should be at least willing to stick around for a season just to see how it goes. I'm not saying we're going to defeat it. That's an expectation. My expectation, honestly, is to go back to that championship game and win it. That's it. It's either that or bust. There's no in between. Ain't no over 10 games. We went to a bowl game. No. I'm trying to go back to the CFP, the 12 team tournament, and what? I don't know what this is, but